What's poppin', everybody? It's Dave Drakes with the Collective Experience, and we're back for the third installation of our 2021 SX preview show. Now, of course, this is the one that we're all excited for. It's the guys that can light the candles on any given weekend, and I've got my main man, Brad, with me. Brad, Big MX Radio, what's going on, dude? You pumped to get this one going?
That's your intro? You're not even going to bring any energy?
That was so much energy!
I don't know what you're talking about, man, but all right, I'm stoked. I don't know about Dave. I don't know about Dave. He's over here, but I am absolutely jacked for this. The factory dudes, the guys who can make it happen, the guys that have that 1% that nobody else has. These guys are multi-time Supercross winners. These guys are 250 champions. They're champing at the bit, and you know what? There's way too many of them. These guys are going to be beating each other up 17 rounds. There's going to be mayhem. There's going to be amazing racing, and I can't wait to see it. Kyle, I know you've got that shit-eating grin. You're absolutely stoked to talk about this stuff. I want to break these guys down. Let's start off with the rookies. Who you got? We got to go check Chase Sexton. He's got 2 Supercross championships in the 250s. Dylan Ferrandis on the blue bike. He's also got 2 championships. I know where you're probably leading, but I want to hear it.
I know you might think I'm going to go Dylan because I'm a Yamaha guy, but this is super hard. We know the 250 Yamaha and the 450 Yamaha are very different machines. They have very different reputations, and this is all rookie year. Put Dylan Ferrandis on that. I think he's very capable of manhandling any machine, but it's about comfort. If you're not comfortable on that bike, we don't know what's going to happen. You got to be comfortable. Chase, we know he's comfortable. We see him in outdoors. If I was going to be a betting man, I'm going to put a little bit more on Chase, even though my personal favorite, I like Ferrandis. I like Ferrandis' style. He's got DV on his side. I grew up watching DV. I watched DV throw down, and
Cobra.
I love that. I love that aggression. I love that just attack. So I think Dylan has that, but from what we've seen so far, I got to see that Dylan's comfortable on that machine.
Fair enough. Well, we saw it in 2 years ago when he made his first appearance in the 250 class. Dylan Ferrandis punting guys left, right, and center. How many guys, Dave? How many guys does he piss off in his rookie season? And he ends up either getting in a fist fight or somebody sends him into the 5th row, which is good because I don't think there's going to be fans sitting in the 5th row. They won't have people that close.
I'm going to go no less than 3 riders this year will have some sort of
like a significant altercation.
Yeah, I'm severely huge euphemism for all out brawl, but I'll say some conflict, some notable conflict at any point in this series. I can guarantee by the time we chat in Utah for the race review or wrap up of the season, it's going to be, wow, I didn't believe Dylan got in that many guys' faces or had that many guys like arguing with him. I don't think that's because Dylan is inherently a dirty rider or trash rider or conflict type of rider. I just think he's so focused on winning and he doesn't care how he has to move you. He's going to move you to get to the front. And a lot of these guys in the 450 class, they don't like that.
He's not going to let anyone stand in his way.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's why I like it. That's what I like about him. The guy is so exciting in that way. But the 450 guys, you got to come correct, dude. You can't just be moving like a Brayton out of the way or a Cooper Webb. They're going to come back and they're going to bite you, man. So it's really it's going to be interesting to say the least. I think we're going to have a lot more of the Barsha and Tomac type arguments, but just sub in any given factory guy on that weekend. It's going to happen that way.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to have his issues dealing with a few of those guys. They all want to do well. They've all got big bonuses that when they do well. Yeah, like a lot of 450 veterans, they kind of look to the rookies to kind of mind your P's and Q's, get some experience, and you can play with us next year. But I don't think that's how Dylan plays, and that's going to ruffle some feathers, and that's going to make some fireworks, whether he's at the front of the pack or somewhere making some noise in the top 10. But if I had to choose between the two, I think that it's Chase Sexton. I think he's got a more solid platform beneath underneath him. I think he's going to be more familiar with it. And I think that he also probably has a little bit more of an idea of where he wants to go testing wise to get, if things aren't exactly perfect. And we've known that Yamaha 450 to be a bit of a puzzle sometimes. I think he's going to have more of the answers when it comes to how to set up that motorcycle and get that feeling he needs to be closer to the front of the pack. And what I love about both these guys is neither one of them has a ton of pressure on them coming in. They can both sort of just go about their rookie seasons, get that experience, and then come out in 2022 and really make something happen out there.
I agree with you. That's 100% what I was going to say. But you forgot to mention one thing that Chase Sexton has that Dylan Ferrandis does not.
What's that?
James freaking Stewart.
Don't get this.
He's got the best rider in the history of the sport, and you knew it was coming, Brad. You knew it was coming.
The best rider.
Shame on you for not knowing this is coming. The most talented rider. I'll give you the.
Okay, I'll give you most talented. I will not give you best rider.
He has the titles. I would say that the most talented rider.
So one outdoor championship.
In the history of the sport, James Stewart in his corner, coaxing him through that rookie transition. Now, if anyone knows how not to have a rookie season, it's James Stewart. His was a little bit tumultuous, a little bit.
How'd Phoenix go?
Yeah, not the best, man. Now, some people say despite his crashes, he still came back with 3 to 4 Supercross wins. Super cool, awesome, but there's some gnarly ones. I would say that Chase is going to come in with a much more level head, much more even keel, and a sense of duty than I think Ferrandis will. I think Ferrandis will just be super hyped and ready to go racing and want those wins. I think Chase will have that clear path of how he wants to achieve it and just be a little bit more grounded in the way he's going to achieve it. I'll say that. So I probably have just a little bit more in terms of a little bit more weight towards Chase Sexton, but I do love Dylan Ferrandis, man. It's going to be really cool to see if he can play cat and mouse with Chase.
Fair enough. I don't want to spend too much talking about it because Dave gets all sensitive. He thinks that we're going to spend too much talking. He thinks people don't want to watch this stuff, and they probably don't. But my question to you guys is, let's stick on the Yamaha thing. They got 3 guys under the tent. What's the pecking order going to be? What is it going to be? Dylan, Malcolm, and Plessinger? Is it going to be a reverse of that? Who's going to be the big dog under the tent for the blue guys? Tell me about it, Kyle.
Malcolm.
You think he's going to be
I think that machine was made for Malcolm. I think he's got that thing under control, and he's on a factory ride. I think he's super pumped about that. Star Racing Yamaha, they hold nothing back. They're going all
Clearly.
out. They are going with 2021 full force, and they're putting Malcolm on that machine, and Malcolm feels it, and that's what he needs. He needs to feel that he has 100% behind him.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I think that he's got he's certainly got the opportunity to put in some really solid rides. I think he's got a great team around him, like you said. And I think from everything that Plessinger was saying today in the press conference, and he even said he's like, I'm looking to turn some heads as well. I would look for a step up from both those guys. I think that both Malcolm and Plessinger are going to be more of a threat to be a thorn in the side of some of those consistent top 5 guys like Eli Tomac, guys like Ken Roxon, which is going to make starts in this series more important than they've ever been. We always talk about it. It's the most cliche thing in motocross. Starts important. Right now, if you're a regular top 5 guy and you start behind, if you start 12th, good luck, because there's going to be so much talent through the top 10. It's going to be ridiculous. Dave, what do you think?
Oh man, I think
we know what you think. You think it's Malcolm.
No, I'm not going to say it's Malcolm. I love what Malcolm brings to the table.
You lied to me.
Malcolm is phenomenal. Right, I will say, because I know that Dylan is so formidable, man, and just came off of look at how convincingly he won some of his races last year, and he's on a very similar setup. I want to say that Star Racing even went as far to say this is going to be a such a similar setup for Dylan Ferrandis and the other guys. Well, if you're looking at Dylan Ferrandis specifically, the only thing is, they've had some issues with the 450, how the chassis responds to the extra power, but I think this group has what they need to get it done. And I just like Dylan because, again, he was on a 250 at YZ last year. His racecraft was absolutely phenomenal. He picked up a gear, I would say, even going into outdoors last year. So I just like his chances just a little bit more than I think Malcolm. Malcolm still has a little bit to prove in terms of that next level, the racecraft and the consistent wins. Yeah, the guy he can be top 5. He can win a heat race. Cool. It's awesome. But almost like Dean Wilson, that end of the race sort of last ditch effort, I wish I could see that a little bit more out of Malcolm. If he does get that figured out, on as well as being on top of that super fast YZ, Malcolm's going to be lights out, dude. Like I'll agree with Kyle in that regard. But I would say I would give Ferrandis almost like a 1A and Malcolm like a 1B, but they're so close together, man.
I'm going to give you just a bat back. Malcolm knows what the 450s are about. He's been there. Last year was his best year. He got injured and came back. Adam Cianciarella, he was supposed to be the number 1, like coming in the last year. He didn't win a race last year. He didn't. But I think just with the inexperience of being in the 450s and Malcolm's experience having that, Malcolm is a little bit more solid ground. He can breathe a little bit easier on that starting gate. And I think with what he's got, the team he's gotten now, he's not going to let up at all. He's going to give it 100,000%. Fair
enough. Well, you heard it here first. Dave Drakes hates Malcolm Stewart.
Oh, come on. I love Malcolm.
No, it was plain to see. And you know what? Your arguments actually kind of swayed me because I would have, like, before this conversation, I would have said Malcolm or I was saying Dylan. But honestly, being a 450 veteran and the fact that he's not coming in with any type of injury, of course, like Dylan's only probably been on the bike for like 2 or 3 weeks since the broken collarbone. So he's behind the 8 ball and a rookie and this, that, and the other thing. So maybe this is the opportunity for Malcolm Stewart to lead the Blue Crew. Let's switch things to a red machine, not the Hondas, but the gas. He won on Saturday somehow at Anaheim 1. That never happened. It was the weirdest thing. I didn't like it. All the things they had to jump through to make it happen, like they literally rented the stadium. They set up
blowing smoke.
Yeah, they set up a freestyle ramp into an airbag at Anaheim Stadium for Justin to jump into. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. All that effort and I'm on the fence. I need to see it from Barcia. Every time that he changes motorcycles, he always says that like he feels better than he's ever felt. This is the best thing ever. I need to see the money. Like I've never seen Justin Barcia on a Kermali framed bike. I've never seen him on a like I think the last time that he was on a KTM ish bike was a KTM 65. So obviously some things have changed. I'm super on the fence about Barcia. I like call it a publicity stunt, call it theatrics. I didn't love it. I thought it was kind of a bit silly on Saturday. Maybe you guys need to say I'm bah humbug about it, but what do you guys think? I'll throw it to Dave first because I've been letting Kyle take it first for a while there, and then Dave just gets shit on afterwards.
Just starting off with the whole gas marketing campaign, I thought it was kind of cool.
Apparently, it's all Troy Lee. That's all Troy Lee. He had an idea in his head,
for sure.
And buckets of cash.
Troy, you know what I mean? Troy Lee team. I thought it was pretty cool, man. I thought it was really funny how it threw so many people off to the point where half the industry was like, "Did we miss a flight or something, dude? Like, did we miss the programming? Like, they're turning the TVs on," and it was really funny. And especially when you know that it's all like made up, like you said, the jumping off of a ramp and stuff, just listening to the fake conversations of the guys, like, you know, under their mask, they're just laughing like this is so weird. But it ended up being kind of.
I'm surprised they got Barcia to go for it. Like, yeah, he's a pretty serious guy. Like,
I feel like he'd be all for it.
No, I mean, I thought it was cool, man. It made me laugh. It kind of I was kind of like, wow, that's actually really ballsy. Number one, to come out there and say like, like almost act like you won the first race. Like it almost puts a target on your back, kind of.
Power move if he's got the red plate on the bike.
Which I think he likes.
Yeah, which kind of like you said, like he might like it. He might like that extra little bit, the extra patch of eyes on him. So I thought it was pretty cool. I like it. How it's gonna go this weekend? I don't know, man. It's an all new bike for him. I know he touts about how great it is, how he's able to do all these things he wasn't able to do before. It's like you said, Brad, the next best thing the bees needs. I think he needs more time on that bike if he's going to go up against people like Eli Tomac, for example, who not only is the past champion and one of the fastest riders the sport's ever seen, but he's on a bike he's been on last year, dude, when he won the championship. So that's
you just throw on Salt Lake settings and let's go.
That's it. Yeah, honestly, like literally change the graphics and then you're good. You know, like, there's my bike.
No, leave him on. Run the 3.
I mean, but essentially that's all. That's it, right? So I think Barsha's going to need a little bit more. I will say I love seeing this Barsha though. His whole marketing campaign. The gear, the bike, how like it looks like he's having so much more fun when he's riding now. I love seeing this dude, and I really hope he has a great season because that'll just make it that much more enjoyable for me from a fan standpoint. I expect him to be a thorn in a lot of guys' side this year, man. I expect him to be a podium threat for sure.
What do you think, Kyle?
I thought it was kind of silly. I do think Barsha. I think Barsha rides on a lot of emotion, a lot of hype. I obviously know he rides on a lot of emotion. The thing is that's going to play to his advantage or his disadvantage. If it backs him up, he will run with it 100%. He will slingshot and lay it down and throw it on. But when those hiccups come, how he handles those in the past, as we've seen,
he might get punched in the mouth.
He might get punched in the mouth. I feel bad saying it, but I feel like he's a bit of a finger pointer.
Can be.
It can, and it's when you handle those situations every race, from race in, race out, and we got to see Barsha do that every single weekend. We got to see him come in this weekend and know I'm the best, because when he comes in knowing he's the best, he is the best. He will throw down and he will give it to anyone, but that varies every week. So the consistency.
That it does, and he's going to have his work cut out for him, being the fastest and highest performing Austrian OEM rider, let alone the fastest guy in the 450 class. That's going to be
I think he can. I think he can come in and win the first round. Yeah, but it's when that hiccup comes. When that hiccup comes, how is he going to handle it?
Yeah, you're right. He has won that first round, and then he gets a 5th, and then that's followed up by like a couple of 8th place finishes, and then he's not even in the conversation for the championship anymore. That's been his kryptonite. But yeah, I think that he's certainly got something to prove, and if he is in fact feeling that good on the brand new machine, we might be in for a treat, especially if he gets pissed off with a guy like Cooper or something like that. He's not afraid. Like if him and Ferrandis get into it with each other, like do they just die? Do they just kill each other? Is that a thing? Like the two of them would just like they would both T-bone each other and then like go off into like another universe where like
I feel like Bam Bam is more like he'll put a target on Ferrandis, but Ferrandis is the type to where, okay, see ya and gone.
He'd be like the Wile E. Coyote.
He's not gonna play that game. He's gonna see who's in front of him.
Yeah, like Ferrandis will be like the road runner, and Bam Bam's the coyote. He's just gonna get the stick of dynamite all season long. Let's switch from the red KTM to the white KTMs. Let's talk about two guys that they've both got titles in the 450 class. One of them's outdoors. One of them's a couple of years ago, and he hasn't won since. Jason Anderson has some stuff to prove. He doesn't want to be like Jeff Emig and be a guy who's never won a Supercross after winning his championship. Jeff Emig never won one again after winning his championship. And Jason Anderson's in that boat as well. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's got some shit to prove, but he also has a stablemate in Zach Osborne, who's champing at the bit to prove that that he wants to finish off his career the way he feels it should have been going on this whole time. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's finally got that momentum, and he's risen to where he probably should have been a number of years ago. Dave.
Yeah, I like this team's chances, man. Like, you've got somebody, like you said, Jason Anderson, who's hungry to prove himself once again, right? Like, he doesn't want to fall into that spot you just said. And he's very, very talented. I know people kind of talk down on him because he left Alden's program. He almost seems like a free rider at heart, trapped in a Supercross racer's body, right? He kind of has that free flowing side of him. But I think when it comes
Team Pride, bro.
Yeah, right. I think when it comes down to racing and putting the time in, that he knows what he's doing. I mean, he's been super solid. He's got a good hold of his program. I don't think that's anything to knock him for, is, having that freer spirit, I'll say. I will say that I don't see that he could really be there where Zach Osborne is in terms of all-out championship, just grit, that I'm going to be here, work my balls off night and day. I eat, sleep, breathe this stuff. I will do this 488 days in a row. I just feel like Anderson would just get burnt out of that whole rigmarole of going back and forth with the same program.
Yeah, and that's why he's not with Eldon in the first place.
Well, yeah, and that
he likes eating cheese.
Yeah, and that can kind of keep.
Fuck doesn't like eating cheese.
It can knock you off the top, man. Where these guys are every day living like they're champions. That could be the thing that separates Osborne from Anderson. Now, again, not taking anything away from Anderson. The guy is a stud. I just think Zach Osborne just has that extra little bit that makes him like almost like a stubborn champion. Like, I refuse to do anything that deters me from not winning this damn championship. This is mine. I've proven I'm an outdoor champ. I've proven that I can win a Supercross like I did last year in Utah. This is mine. I'm on it to go.
Fair. Still a head case. Go ahead, Kyle.
You talking about Anderson?
No. I was saying Osborne's still a head case, but like, he's all momentum. If things are rolling good, it's like a snowball. It'll go downhill. He'll be awesome. Well, things are going back the other way. Same idea.
Yeah, I think Osborne had to break that barrier. I think he had that mental barrier of if he could be number one, if he could do it. Now that he finally has, because I mean, he's done a lot. That guy's put a lot of effort into everything he's done, but he just hasn't gotten it yet. And so now that I think he's got it, that confidence and that momentum can carry on. But then again, like, we still got Tomac, we still got Roxton, we still got Cooper. But back to Anderson. Anderson, I think he wants to do things his way. He doesn't like I feel like he doesn't like being told how he should be or how he should do things. I feel like he wants to win, but he wants to win on his own terms. And so that's his approach to it. He doesn't want to be on the spotlight, but he's going to be there. He's going to be like, when things happen, I'm not going to be out of the scene. I'm going to be right there when all that goes down, and I'll be there to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
I agree. I think those two are gonna go to war, and one of them's gonna come out and establish themselves as the championship contender from Husky. I don't think both of them are gonna be like a 1-2 punch. I think the two of them are gonna have a little bit of a civil war, and one of them is gonna emerge as a serious contender. Same can be said about the KTM team. They got two guys over there that can really make some noise. Two guys that have multiple race wins. From just the tonality and body language from Marvin, I hate to say it, but he kind of seems like a guy who's sort of done but not done yet. Like, he's still got years on his contract, but he doesn't seem to have that fire to like rip off race wins, be that guy. I think like he's really kind of descended into this kind of secondary role, whereas I see Cooper Webb as a prize fighter who got punched in the mouth last year. He had some bad races, like a terrible back injury. He still won a number of races. He ended up second in points and was very, very strong down the stretch. I think he's got some time in the summer to reevaluate, recharge, and set his sights again for the 2021 championship. And I think he's got that kind of like that smirk of Cooper Webb when he's just like, yeah, I've got something that you guys don't know about, and I'm coming to win. You guys took my belt, and I want it back, and I'm going to take it from you, even if it like no matter how hard you're gripping onto it, I'm going to rip it out of your hands. And I think that's how he's rolling into the season. I have him as my at least my number one, if not my number two guy in this series. What do you think, Kyle?
I agree. Cooper doesn't see anything but number one. He doesn't accept anything but number one. And you could tell if he doesn't get it, he's not happy. Muscan has crazy talent. He flows. He looks beautiful on a bike. But if Cooper's going to come pushing on his shoulder, he's gonna move. And Cooper's not going to accept anything, then get out of my way.
I agree. I think that if there's just if we're talking about a KTM civil war, it's got to be Coop. What do you think, Dave?
I agree with what you guys said about Cooper. 100%. We all know the guy is just too stubborn to lose, right? The guy is solid as the day is long. But Brad, I'm gonna have to contrast you a little bit when it comes to Marvin Musquin. Now, I thought like you. I thought like you thought.
Finally.
A couple of seasons ago, I remember thinking, man, like Marv, like he's kind of like really good for being a second tier guy. I felt like he was like almost towards the end of his career, but he's still like he's done, but he still has more years on his contract kind of deal. And then the minute I say that, the dude pops out wins and is cutting through the pack and doing insane stuff. And this is happening year after year, where like even what was it, 2019 before he got hurt. I thought that I was like, he's kind of, I didn't really think much of him, blah, blah, blah. He's just going to ride in first, thirds, fourths, whatever. And the dude was phenomenal. So, honestly, I'm going to say that, Marvin's going to have a really amazing year. He's had a whole year to rest and heal up. And I think he wants to come out and almost like what, like Ando is where he's at, wanting to prove himself like, hey, I belong here. I'm not just a guy that was super fast for a little while, that didn't make it happen the way I wanted to. I think he's going to have that same sort of fire under his ass. And like Kyle said, the guy is crazy talented. And every time we count him out, the guy surprises us. He comes up with just amazing rides, just amazing racecraft, and he ends up in the front and he doesn't look back. So I'm not counting that guy out in terms of being in championship contention at all.
Fair enough. Now, we talked about one of the Honda contingents in the rookie and Chase Sexton. He's coming in, pressure off. He's going to have some great rides. He's going to have some rookie mistakes. Those things are going to happen. His stablemate is a guy who, if not for a couple of arm injuries, we'd probably be talking about multi-time Supercross champion. He's already multi-time Supercross winner in Ken Roxon. Everybody who's completely not biased, Austin Hoover from Fox, is saying that he's flying at the test track, calling out Supercross championships. But it's still something we need to see from Ken. This whole the schedule is going to be something that is taxing on him, as it's going to be taxing on everybody. Dave, I ask you this: is Ken going to keep step with all of the contenders and stick with the Osbornes and Cianciarulos of this year, or is he going to take a back seat to those guys and be relegated to around fourth place spot, or is he going to be ahead of those guys?
I think he can be ahead of those guys, especially after cutting him out last year and seeing how he raced the first half of the series. Man,
points leader going to Daytona.
Exactly. And the way he rode Daytona, we kind of wrote him off as, he's probably going to be a third or second or whatever. And the way he shot out of the gate, the guy came back flying. Obviously, it's hard to beat Tomac at a Tomac-style track. But
we were in St. Louis for his first win.
Yeah, dude, it's like the the amount of people like myself that counted him out after a while. Not saying that he wasn't a great rider, just that, man, I think the racing is getting to him a little bit. The injuries that are loading up on him, and he just surprised everybody by winning a lot last year, a lot, way more than anyone thought he would. So I can't count him out. I can't say that he won't do it again this year because he completely upset what everyone thought last year. Now he's coming off of being able to rest up. Hopefully his body's okay, which is the only lingering thing that most people would kind of question or raise an eyebrow at. Can he last the whole 17 rounds? Because it's more of a condensed series, does that help his chances, or does that hurt him because he's got kind of less recovery time in between motos? So it could go either way with Roczen. I'm not counting him out. I expect to see him up front every bit as much as like a Tomac. But does he have what it takes in terms of health, fitness, mental, whatever it is that's been holding him back? Does he have what it takes to get out all 17 rounds?
We shall see. What do you think, Kyle?
I think Ken needs to focus on Ken. I think he has what it takes. I think he's calmed down a bit. He's been through the ringer. Mm-hmm. He's been through all of it. I think back a couple years ago when we saw Cooper take that win from him, that got to him. I feel like definitely that got to him. But last year he got a couple wins. He got a couple wins, and you can see he got his
he's got his mojo back. Yeah, you're totally right. He got his swagger back a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of.
I totally think so. And I think now he's got his kid with him. He's got his family. He's got a year to think about things. He's absolutely talented. He can do it as much as anyone. So the bottom line is, I think Ken needs to focus on Ken. Don't worry about who's behind you. Don't worry about, is AC on my heels or Osborne. He's hungry for it. If Ken does what Ken does, he is a winner, hands down.
I like it.
I'm a big Ken fan. I want to see him get it.
I feel that's the most amount of passion we've gotten from Kyle in this whole video series. Is the third time he's champing at the bit, and he just almost gets a little bit of emotion coming out of my good friend Kyle Howe on Ken Roczen. And now we turn the page to the Claw, last OEM that we got to talk about. And this is probably like I've gotten some flack on this on Twitter, and same with my picks when I released them today when I was on Instagram. Is I think that there's going to be this Kawasaki hasn't had this kind of 1-2 punch, maybe ever. Maybe back when they had Kudrowski and Larocco back in the day.
Okay.
They haven't had a crazy 1-2 punch like this. And that doesn't those guys weren't even winning Supercross races. Like, we're talking about a generational talent in Adam Cianciarulo, the golden child, Jesus on two wheels. And then you've also got Cujo himself, the undeniable, maybe the fastest man of the last 4 years, even though he's got one championship, 4 outdoor championships on a 450, and Eli Tomac, hot off the heels of his first Supercross championship. And he's going to roll in with a big old number 1 in the red plate for the first round this weekend in Houston. I've been saying that I think it's AC's year. I think this is the year that AC steps up and takes his spot at the top of not only Kawasaki, but atop the Supercross world. I think he shocks everybody. I think he's going to be fast. He's going to be consistent, and I think he's got the right mindset to do it, especially with how consistent he was outdoors. You guys are going to both tell me that I'm wrong. I want you to have good arguments when you do so, but that's where I'm saying right now. I think that I'm going to say it right now. Adam Cianciarulo is your 2021 Monster Energy Pro Supercross champion, and he's the fastest guy on a Kawasaki this winter.
Oh,
Dave.
Oh boy. This breaks my heart because AC to me is the golden child, dude. Like, following the dude since his Cobra 50 days, super solid. I will say he had a really good rookie year last year. Yeah, it could have been better. Got hurt a little bit. Didn't grab the elusive race win, but I will say he's got a lot to handle when it comes to the guys that are around him. Now, AC all the talent in the world. Lord knows I'm, again, big fan of this dude. I just think he's got a lot of guys around him that could fluster him. It takes AC a couple years to solidify himself in each stage that he goes to. Look at the way he was on the 250s. Yeah, he came out blazing fast, title contender in his first setup, but once he got hurt, it took him a while to build up, and he stayed there for a little while. It took him a little bit longer to build up, stayed there for a little while, a season or two, until he got to the point where we saw him year before last when he won the outdoor title. Now we're looking at 2020, and it's taken him a little bit of time to sort of graduate up the ladder and get comfortable where he's got guys like Eli Tomac, Ken Roxon. He can battle with those guys for a little bit, but when it comes down to just overall racecraft on a 450, getting away from these guys, around these guys, I think Adam needs just a little bit more, maybe like even half a season of just a little bit more until I can say, yeah, this dude has it to the point where he's going to dethrone Tomac as a champion. I just want to see just a little bit more of the AC in terms of consistency, a little bit more in terms of in speed. And I think that's when I can feel comfortable saying that he's going to be your 21 title holder. Now, race wins, oh hell yeah, this dude is gonna be blazing fast. Expect some heat wins, expect some race wins.
Heat races, top qualifier.
Yeah,
he won, baby.
Yeah. Dude loves pole position. He can stay there. He can stay there all season. I just think he's gonna be in that realm, not so much of being able to string it together super consistently for a Supercross championship.
Wow, Dave hates Mookie and Adam Cianciarulo.
Not
what I expected to hear, but what do you think, Kyle?
AC and Mookie are like my favorite riders. Like if
clearly
I had to pick two,
clearly not.
He's a realist.
There's just some other people that I think are just a little bit more on them.
There's people a little bit more that know just what it takes. I think Adam is a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of guy. He did not fall back. He will move forward.
Yep.
He will move forward.
Yep.
If something falls, and he will not point fingers, he will look at himself in the mirror and say, where did I go wrong? And he will pull up his pants and go out and make it happen.
Exactly.
He learns from his mistakes. But like I was saying before with Ken needs to focus on Ken. I feel like that's what Eli did last year. Eli focused on Eli. Yeah. He focused on what he needed to do to make it happen, to finish that. Cooper did not like losing. And Cooper's not going to go down without a fight this year. He's going to come back with a vengeance. I think this year, speed-wise, Tomac has speed beyond. He's just the fastest. Everybody on their best day, Tomac can put down laps. Cooper is going to go down. He's a bulldog. He's not going to go down at all without a fight. Adam, it's like what you hear Ricky say. If I was Adam, I would, Tomac, Cooper passes you. You follow their lines. You study what they do. You figure out what they're doing, because Adam's the future. Adam's going to be a multiple title holder. And he's going to do what he does best. He's going to learn, and he's going to make another step forward this year. Title, I don't think so. I don't know if we're there yet, but I'm going to say Tomac or Cooper this year. I hope Ken, but realistically, I think I'm going to say Eli or Cooper.
You guys are crazy. It's AC followed by Cooper and Ken. And that's just how it's going to be. But I get, this is the part of the show where we make our championship prediction. I just gave my top 3, what I think is going to be in points. You guys could either give me that or just give me a title winner. On January 11th, the Monday before the first round of the series, who's going to be our championship, Kyle?
Title championship?
Title champion. Title winner.
Man, I hate to say it, but Cooper
Webb. And Dave, what's your wrong pick?
It's gonna be so hard to. Dang it!
You can't say Adamantic Nep.
I got faith in my boy Adam. I'd say Eli Tomac. Then I'm gonna go Zach Osborne, and then Cooper Webb.
Fair enough. Just
Os-
no love
Osborne's
for
is
AC.
too solid not to put him up in the top 3, man.
None. Wow. What were you going to say there, Kyle? I completely cut you off there.
I was gonna say I want to say either one of Team Green. Like I believe AC or Tomac could get it. I just feel like if they do get it, they're not gonna go get it without a fight from Cooper.
Oh yeah, no. Rest assured, Cooper is going to be the sharpest thorn. Yeah, he's going to be the sharpest thorn in anybody's side who ends up winning, unless he is the guy who's leading the championship all the way down to the wire. But boys, this has been fun, breaking things down, analysis mostly by the seat of our pants, with some degree of educated guessing in between. We found out some things tonight. We found out that Dave hates Malcolm Stewart as well as Adam Cianciarulo, which I was surprised. I was surprised we found that out, and that we also found out that that Kyle's got a pretty informed opinion on the sport of Supercross. Boys, I'm really excited about this championship. I hope that all 3 of you are playing Pulpamex Fantasy. If you haven't joined Dave's league yet, there's still some time. You can join the league and be ahead of him in points, because he'll either forget
the link.
Absolutely will. Where he'll forget to put a team in, or he's just so inept that he's somehow, like, even on a Triple Crown race, he would put in guys that haven't even made the main events. That's how Dave plays that game.
I had one fantasy weekend because you were my bad luck charm, because you were actually at Atlanta last year and you screwed me over. But I think you were my bad luck charm. But one bad fantasy race, and people think you are the Pee Wee 50 rider of the motocross.
Don't hate on Pee Wees.
Suck.
Yeah, that's a PW is a wise zinger. So don't start, Dave.
Ain't changed in 40 years. Still
exactly,
running.
and it doesn't need to. It's a solid platform.
Guys, thank you so much for watching, hanging out with us as we recap our thoughts on the upcoming 2021 Supercross season. We're extremely excited. Gotta say thank you to my main man, Brad Gebhardt, as well as Kyle Howe. Please be sure to check these guys out on Instagram at Big MX Radio and Wise Zingers as well. Please leave us a comment down low. Who do we not give enough credit to? Who do we miss? Do you think we are completely off in the weeds? Are we spot on? And who is your prediction to have the 2021 Supercross Championship? Please be sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out the Collective Experience for some awesome content and some offerings. And thank you for watching.